And there was Diane's phone number. And I thought, oh, wow, this is great. So a couple of days later, I called her up on the phone, and I said, hi, this is Paul Volk, Nancy's friend. And she says, yes, I remember. And I said, I thought maybe if you weren't busy, we could go out some weekend. And she said, yes, that would be nice. And I said, okay, is next weekend good? And she said, yeah, next weekend will be fine. And I said, okay. She said, where are we going to go? And I thought, oh, where do Christians go? All I knew were the nightclubs in town. So I said, well, where would you like to go? And she said, well, we could go on a picnic. I said, yeah, that's what Christians do. They go on picnics. So I said, all right, let's go on a picnic. So the day arrives, everything's all packed. I get in my car, start it up, and my car won't start. And I'm going, oh, no. So I called her up and I said, Diane, I said, I think we're going to have to cancel. My roommates had looked up the car. We just can't figure out what's wrong. We'll have to do it another time. And she says, well, listen, the picnic basket's all packed. Everything's ready. Why don't I come and pick you up? And I said, you come to my place? She goes, yeah. Oh, no. See, my roommates were not Christian. Jim and Reggie. Jim was ex-Marine, and he worked at a very expensive, exclusive men's clothing store. Reggie was a manager at Zales Jewelry, so he had all the bling-blings and everything else, and all the ladies that liked the bling-blings. And I said, oh, okay, you can come to my house and pick me up. And we lived in a very nice condominium, sort of a ski chalet style. And when I hung up, I said, all right, Jim and Reggie, Diane's coming to pick me up because the car won't start. I want you guys to behave yourself when she gets here. I want you to take all the liquor out of the living room, put it back out into the kitchen. Reggie, I don't want you to smoke a cigarette while she's here, and no bad words. And they said, yes, Paul, very good. So we get all the liquor out of the living room and put it back out into the kitchen, and Reggie has his last smoke. And then I'm waiting for her to arrive, and we had this big full-length mirror in the living room, and I'm making sure everything is in place and everything is okay. And they said, Paul, what are you so nervous about? You were just out with Miss America a few months ago. And now this little local girl is making you nervous? I said, listen, you guys, this girl knows Jesus. And there's something about her that has really caught my attention. You'll see when she gets here. So we were waiting, and all of a sudden we heard this big banging sound on the stairs. Now this ski chalet type condo that we lived in, everything was wood shakes and everything, and wooden stairs that went up. And they heard the banging on the stairs. And they said, what's that? I said, it's Diane. She's here. She's coming up the stairs. And they said, no, the banging. What's the banging sound? Oh, I said, it's Diane. I said, what are you talking about? I said, I didn't mention to you guys. Diane has polio. And she has steel leg braces. And in order for her to go up the stairs, she has to throw her leg up each step like this. And the banging you hear is her metal braces hitting the stairs. And they said, polio, steel leg braces. Paul, this girl, she's handicapped. I said, wait till you see her. So she works her way up to the top of the stairs. She rings the doorbell. I run over to the door. I point to them. They go like this. I open up the door. And Diane steps inside, and it was like sunlight entered the room. My roommates looked at each other, and their jaws just dropped. They looked back at Diane. I walked her across the room. I said, Diane, these are my roommates, Jim and Reggie. Jim and Reggie, this is Diane. And they went, and I said, let me go get my jacket, just a minute. So I ran back to my bedroom to get my jacket. Jumbo followed behind me. And he goes, hey, does she have a sister? I don't know, I just met her. But he saw the same thing I did. Even though they were out with some of the most glamorous, fashionable girls in the city, this little girl with polio, who knew Jesus, caught their attention, just like me. And God gave me such an amazing, huge contrast. He says, Paul, I'm going to let you go out with Miss America for a week. And then I'm going to show you one of my little children with polio. And you tell me what gets your attention. I got it. The little girl with polio who knew Jesus was more beautiful than even Miss America. I would have loved to have had a whole 2 hours with those high school girls, talking to them about fashion and what it means and how they're selling themselves off. but we didn't have the time. I just had each class period was a 45-minute window. But we might be able to touch on some of that during the health seminar, because part of being healthy is knowing who you are, isn't it? And not having to be somebody else. You don't have to look like Britney. You don't have to look like Madonna. These girls got as much brains as oatmeal. It's just shocking to me how they behave themselves. And you know, if all of this stuff was really that good, Hollywood would be the happiest, most wonderful place on earth, wouldn't it? Is it? Well, all the news. Suicide, crime, murder, drugs, divorce, 5, 6, 7 marriages. It's not the happiest place on earth. But it's got all the paint, all the fashion, all the Gucci Gucci, all the stuff that you want. But apparently it doesn't work, does it? Because Hollywood is not the happiest place on earth. It's right here in the sanctuary where God is worshipped. The happiest place on earth.
Amen.
It's your sanctuary in your home, where you study your Bible, where you pray and get closer to God. That's the happiest place on earth. That's what it's all about.